This is PicMonkey. I'm sure that you guys may be familiar with it, but this is a free service that's available online. It is PicMonkey.com. You spell it like this. You can upgrade if you want to, but you don't have to. You can use this without putting any extra money into it, so it's a free service. You can edit pre-done photos that you may already have. You can make collages. You can design things straight from the beginning. I typically will design things. And you can do a ton of things in PicMonkey. So if you wanted to make this a different size, typically squares are pretty good if you are cross-posting or if you're wanting to use the same image on Facebook and Instagram or a blog or something like that. Usually a square is a good standard to go by, but you can do tons of stuff in PicMonkey. So let's say you wanted to add some shapes. You can put some arrows in here. If you wanted to talk about a fitness challenge that you had coming up or something, you can change the colors. There's all kinds of different things that are already preloaded into PicMonkey that you can use. I usually stay with these ones up here up at the top, but there's tons of stuff down here. If you wanted to use a banner for something, they've got those. If you needed lines or dashes or squiggly lines, if you wanted correction marks or arrows that are like this, you've got those too. Then they have these labels that are already done, so you can have different shapes. And then there's anytime you see something that has this little crown, that's the stuff that you have to pay for. I have the upgraded version, so I'm able to access and use these things if I wanted to, but you don't need the paid version if you don't want it. Like I said, tons of stuff in here that you can use. Then with the texts, you've got some options here. I will always say don't pay for PicMonkey if you don't want to, because you can download fonts from a website called www.dafont.com, dafont.com. You can go there and download fonts. There's thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of fonts that are there. And you can download them onto your computer, and then they will automatically upload into PicMonkey, and they'll go under this Yours folder. So you can click on the hours. The hours are the preloaded things that PicMonkey comes with, and then the Yours are the things that I have downloaded and are available on my computer. So I have a ton of different fonts that I have already loaded in here because I'm a font junkie. I like to have a lot of options. So you can have all kinds of stuff at your disposal to use, and choose a font. You can add text. You can play with the size and make it bigger. There's just a lot of things that you can do with this. So, you can see the possibilities here are endless, right? You could do tons of stuff. So you could have this over here, and then if you wanted to put in a picture of yourself or something, or a picture that you had already on your computer, you can click on the Your Own and put it in from your computer. A lot of things that people don't know about, if you wanted to do a shape cutout, you could come over here to shape cutout and see how it makes this checkered. That makes that invisible. It's transparent. So when you were saving this, it would save as this white circle. You can do the same thing to any type of photo. So if you wanted to just create a circle photo of somebody's headshot or something like that, this is how you would do it. So you can have something like this and then save it. You can save it and see how it looks just like the circle. So you can save it to your computer. There's tons of other stuff. You can do rounded corners. And again, with the little crown icon, that's only for the paid versions. But you can click on this stuff and you can do tons of different stuff with PicMonkey. So you can play around with it and figure out what it is exactly in PicMonkey that you really love, what looks like you. Try not to copy other people. I know Brittany has a great PicMonkey tutorial on her YouTube channel, so you can go and look at that, and she'll walk you through like exactly how she does some of her images. But you can really play around with this, and you can really do a lot. So if you have the royal version, the paid version, you can do all kinds of stuff. If you were just working on, let's say, somebody's headshot or a picture of yourself or something, you can do blemish fixes and airbrush and all kind of teeth whitening, all kinds of stuff in here. So again, play around with it, see what you like. I basically exclusively used PicMonkey for at least the first 1.5 or 2 years of my business, until I found Canva. And this is www.canva.com, Canva.com. This is, in my opinion, much easier to use than PicMonkey. It can be very overwhelming when you first sign up right here and you're looking at this. This is also a free one. But you're looking at all these different things and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to use all these things. This does infinitely more than PicMonkey could. It just does it differently. So here, instead of kind of leaving the creativity up to you, it kind of gives you some ideas. So if you wanted, again, here's that square version like we were talking about earlier, the social media posts, if you had a presentation or you're wanting to print a poster, you want a Facebook cover. What I love about Canva is that with the Facebook cover, it already builds in where your photo would be, so you know not to put image or text or anything over here because it wouldn't be seen. So you already know that, which is nice. And you can click the More button, and there are tons of options in here. And it breaks it all down for you. So if you were looking for social media specific, to Instagram or a Facebook post, Pinterest graphic, Twitter, it already knows the sizes that those social media platforms prefer and fit best, so you don't have to tweak it or not sure if it doesn't work right. Same for blogs, marketing materials. This is the event Facebook cover, so this one doesn't have the built-in photo like I just showed you. So because like when you're doing events and stuff like that, that image isn't there. Twitter, YouTube channel art, all kinds of stuff. Facebook cover, email headers, events, ads. I mean, it's ridiculous how many options you have in here. But just for the sake of consistency, we'll stick with this one. So you can click on that. And then Canva is really a mix of free and paid options. So you have a ton of options. So just like in PicMonkey, this is the pre-done square. Anywhere where you see the word free, clearly you don't have to pay for that. So I could click on that. That's automatically going to pull everything over there. So even if you didn't want to do anything to it, all you would do is hit download an image for the web, and it would save right to your computer. Exactly like that. Something like this. So if you wanted to put your own images over there, but you can scroll through and use all kinds of pre-done templates. Just look, if you don't see the word free, then you are going to have to pay for it. And it's usually $1, which is not that bad if you really fell in love with exactly how it looks or that layout. You can see, I'm just scrolling for days. There's just tons of options. You'll get down to the bottom and it will have blank templates so that you can plug and chug your own stuff in there. See if I can finally get to any of those. Still a long ways to go, but you can, it's there we go. It's themed by holidays. It's themed by, you know, wedding stuff. Literally, there's just thousands of options in here. But then, you know, if you didn't like any of those, or you just wanted you knew you wanted it a very specific way laid out, they have all of those pre-done so that you could just click that and then click and drag from your uploads area. There are tons of elements. So this one will change depending on what the upcoming holiday is. So if you knew you wanted to use something like that, you can move it around. You can change the colors. Have all kinds of that kind of stuff. There are all different kinds of shapes that you can use. Pre-done lines, which I love because there's lots of options. The icons is pretty incredible because there's so many things built in. A lot of them are free. You'll eventually find stuff that you'll have to pay for, but again, you pay for $1 and then you're able to use it in your image. So if you found something that you really loved. Same with text. So they give you the option to use their pre-done stuff, or you can upload your own fonts, like I was talking about with PicMonkey. So if you don't see something in here that you really love, you can upload your own stuff. But then they have their own text fonts, layouts, and that kind of stuff too. So if you're not really good with mixing fonts, then you can see that they have already done that for you. You can just change what the text says and it'll keep the fonts the same. Tons of pre-done stuff here, and all of these are free. And the stuff that you see in color, you can change those colors too. So lots and lots and lots of options. This is a great way to do presentations because you can click the presentation layout and then you can do add a new page, and you can just continue to edit and make new slides and then upload them that way. I've just really fallen in love with Canva because there's so many options for you. You can create PDFs in here, so if you have a lot of issues with trying to figure out how to create PDFs for your team or training materials or anything like that, this is the easiest way to do that. So I hope that this helps you guys understand your options. Of course, there are tons of apps that you can use too for graphics. Some of my favorites are WordSwag, Photofy, A Beautiful Mess, Rona, I'm not sure how that one's pronounced, and that one has a few different kinds that you can use. Of course, Instagram is always great, and Instagram has their own layout function now. So there's a ton of really great apps that you can do from your phone too. As it stands right now, PicMonkey and Canva are desktop only. You can't use them on mobile, but hopefully soon at least one of them will be able to use on mobile, because that will be a huge game changer. But I hope that this helps, and if you have any questions, feel free to message me anytime, and I wish you guys the best of luck with your social media designs, and have a great week.